I first went abroad as a 20-year-old in 1992. I was still a college student myself at Miami of Ohio, but had been invited to spend a summer teaching English at the university in China. I think it was that experience of living in China that really opened up the diversity of the world to me. I spent the next 25 years of my career bouncing back and forth between the United States and international work. After being active with Campus Crusade for Christ at Miami of Ohio as an undergraduate, I decided to spend 1 year with Campus Crusade as a missionary in Albania. Afterward, I moved to England to do a master's degree at the University of London. Due to my foreign language skills, I was recruited by a New York-based equity fund to work alongside the U.S. government initiatives abroad. During my career with the equity fund and later as an entrepreneur, I have worked across 3 continents, reaching across party lines to promote American businesses and American values. I have started banks, microlending firms, NGOs, chambers of commerce, accounting and brokerage firms, and a film production company. I have led investments in natural resources and advised governments of several American allied governments regarding privatization, stabilization, and economic growth. I have employed hundreds of people and increased economic activity between the United States and its friends around the world. The politics that divide Americans at home don't often divide those abroad. Most of the almost 9 million overseas Americans are ordinary citizens who are living their lives, raising their families, studying, and working as teachers, doctors, businessmen, or even relief workers. We are just Americans, and though we are often far from home, America is still our home, and the U.S. Constitution is still our Constitution, wherever we are. In 2010, Congress passed FATCA, which is the Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act, and inadvertently closed doors to millions of Americans abroad. FATCA disdains the constitutional path of investigating individuals who are suspected of wrongdoing and then securing a warrant for their information. Rather, FATCA takes the NSA approach, initiating a mass search and seizure to require all non-U.S. banks to hand over information on U.S. private citizens without any requirement of reasonable suspicion, due process, or a court order. In the U.S., a warrant would be needed to collect a citizen's Social Security number, financial transactions, and bank balances. But if a foreign financial institution fails to collect this information and pass it on to the U.S. government, they face crippling sanctions that essentially shut them out of the American market. FATCA has led many foreign banks and foreign financial institutions to deny Americans investments, pensions, mortgages, checking and savings accounts, rather than deal with the crushing compliance costs imposed upon them. The lack of access to normal financial services makes it difficult for many overseas Americans to conduct everyday business, like paying bills and saving for retirement. But on a national level, FATCA also impedes U.S. businesses and exports and opportunities that risk the future economic harm. 7 individuals from around the world have stood up to this unjust practice and challenged FATCA in federal court. We believe that the U.S. Constitution is for all Americans, wherever we are. It is not quirky. It is not selective. It is the basis for our freedom and should be applied equally to all. We are fighting for equal and fair treatment under the law. This is our civil rights movement. Please join us by contributing to our legal effort via abolishfatca.com.